Hello everyone, Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. I'm popping on just a few minutes late for my online workshop. Hopefully this is actually showing in my online workshop. I'm not really positive about that. So as you pop on and hopefully find me, if you want to say hi, let me know that you're there. That would be great. Today I'm going to be doing 3 cards with you featuring the Cactus Cuties stamp set. So this is a stamp set that I've been featuring all week in my social media. You've seen it on my blog, on my Facebook page, Instagram, everywhere, and I've been having so much fun creating with it. It's actually a stamp set that I'm going to be using for an upcoming class as well. So I wanted to do it. Good morning, Val. I wanted to do it for my online workshop. Hi, Rondi. And just let you guys see a few more options that can be done with it. Now, I unfortunately am a little bit limited in what I can do with it right now because I forgot to order the punch that goes with it. So everything I am doing with it, I have to fussy cut or stamp directly onto my card because I'm waiting for that punch to arrive. Nah, it happens. So that being said, I'm going to switch over to my tabletop and let you guys see this stamp set and we'll start creating. All right. So there we go. We have the Cactus Cutie stamp set. And like I said, there is a punch that coordinates with it that cuts out like the pots and the cactus bits and everything and a little flower, which makes it much easier to work with. But it's pretty easy to work with. I'm enjoying it. So our first card, and actually all of our cards today, are featuring the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper, which is one of our celebration papers. And the reason for that is because with the purchase of the Cactus Cuties bundle, which you do want the bundle, not just the stamp set. With the purchase of the Cactus Cuties bundle, and then grab yourself some twine and some cardstock, you actually qualify to earn this Designer Series paper for free. So it's kind of nice that way. So I'm just going to give this a little crease. This is a piece of thick, basic white cardstock. And I like to use the thick when I'm creating cards because it kind of gives the card a little bit more heft to it. It feels a little bit less flimsy. So it's just a regular white card base. Then I've got a piece of 4 by 5 1/4 Misty Moonlight and a piece of basic white that's just 1/8 of an inch smaller. So it's 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. And then our piece of Designer Series paper, it's one of the ones from our Sunshine and Rainbow, and it's cut at 5 1/8 by 2 inches. So before we start gluing this together, we're going to do a little bit of die cutting and a little bit of stamping. So this piece, I could totally take this piece of cardstock and attach it right on here, and it would make a cute little card that we're going to decorate up. But I wanted to add a little bit more interest to it and give you, maybe you already own the Cactus Cuties and you're just looking for another reason to grab some more of this Designer Series paper. I thought we could use, I always forget the name of these, the basic border dies. And so these are so much fun. When you see those people have like those beautiful layered cloud backgrounds and stuff, it's with that die from this set. It's such a cute one, scallops and envelopes. And today I'm going to use this really awesome stitched curve. So we're going to grab that. We're going to get our mini boss in here. Now, I was stamping with my team the other night. Thursday night, we meet the second Thursday of every month, and we were stamping together. And one of the girls said, "Oh, my plates are curving," and all this stuff. And I said, "Oh my gosh, are you still using the combo that Stampin' Up recommends in their manual, which is plate 1 with the 2 clear plates?" And she said, "Well, yeah." And I said, "Oh, stop. Don't do it." So in case you don't know this trick, I always use plate number 3 with my 2 clear plates. And I've had no problems with dies, with the plates curving or anything. They're still a consumable. They're still getting scratched and worn out, and I do need to replace them. But they're not curving and doing crazy things. And I never have problems with my plates kind of like not grabbing, not moving. Okay, so I'm placing this die on here right up at the edge, trying to get the top and the bottom even. Now I could secure this with washi tape and just make my life really easy, but you know, who wants an easy life? So I'm going to give this a go. All right, try and get that in to grab it. Oh, now that I say that, it's going to have trouble grabbing. So I find this one's a little bit tricky sometimes just because it's like a big old speed bump. And once you get it going, there we go. It's happy to go through. You always want to put this one through longwise as well. It does, I think it fits the other way on the big machine, but don't do it. It's like a speed bump. Hi, Jacqueline. Hope you're feeling well today. It's a gorgeous sunny day. I love, morning coffee in the sunshine. Oh, such a nice day. So, all right. So with that cut, we can start creating with a little bit of stamping. And then we'll put all of our pieces together. So this little die, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper. And I'm actually using a bit of a bigger scrap because I know I have lots of stamping to do today. Oh, glad you're sitting out in the sun, Jacqueline. What a great way to spend the morning. All right, so I've just put my Stampin' Pierce mat down as like a background to give some firm resistance to my stamps, but like let me get a really good solid image. And I am going to grab a stamp that I clearly did not clean and has the wrong color on it. So I'm just going to use my very dirty chamois to give this a scrub. All right. So I'm going to start by stamping the base of my image. I'm going to create a little cactus in a pot here. And so I'm going to start by stamping the pot. And so I'm inking this up in Night of Navy. Now the paper I'm using is actually Misty Moonlight, and I could use Misty Moonlight to do this stamping, but I have navy right here, so that's what we're going to use. So I've got that pot stamped in navy, and now I'm going to stamp our cactus in Granny Apple Green. Oops. So before I do that though, I am going to also pull out my Just Jade. I want to show you today, I posted a card, I think yesterday evening, that had like some depth to the flowers and stuff, some different colors. And so I wanted to show you how I actually did that. And to do that, I need, oh, where is it? There we go. To do that, I need a sponge dauber. There we go. So here, I'll show you guys. I keep my sponge daubers actually in a lipstick tube holder, and then little dots at the bottom to tell me which colors they are. And then you can just put your finger in and pull it out. Sometimes the little paper sticks to it and just peel that off. So, got my sponge daubers here. So I'm going to grab my cactus and I'm going to put it directly into my Granny Apple and get it nice and inked up. But before I stamp it, I'm going to take my sponge dauber, dip it into Just Jade, and I'm just going to go around the edges of my cactus a little bit with a Just Jade sponge dauber. And now I'm going to stamp that. And voila, you'll see I don't have just like a plain old one color cactus now. I have some different shading on there. It's a great technique. I don't know, this cactus always reminds me of a watermelon actually. But it's a great technique for a watermelon. That big curved one, Jacqueline, it comes from, oh, I just said it and I just forgot it again. It comes from the Basic Borders dies. So there you go, Basic Borders dies. You better study your catalog better. It was a funny one, Jacqueline, because it didn't really coordinate with a stamp set or anything, right? It was just kind of there on its own. So yeah, it's just one of those ones, if you've seen it and you wondered, oh, how did they get that look? And then you kind of dig through the catalog, you'd find it. So, All right, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add some flowers to this, and I'm going to do the same technique again for my flowers using Flirty Flamingo and Melon Mambo this time with my sponge dauber. So I'm going to get both of these open so that I'm ready to work. Good morning, Marianne. And so I'm going to take my little flower. I should give him a little clean. He has a lot of ink on him. This combo of the Flirty Flamingo and Melon Mambo is my absolute favorite for this flower. I've also done Petal Pink, or was it Blushing Bride? Which one's on top? No, it was Petal Pink. I've done Petal Pink with a highlight of Flirty Flamingo. That looks really nice as well. So we're going to stamp this into our Flirty Flamingo and then get our sponge dauber for our Melon Mambo and just tap the tips of that flower and give it a little stamp on there. And you could clean it if you want. I'm not going to. Just ink it again and again, just a little dab across the top and stamp. So there we go. We have our little flowers done now, and they're a little bit more interesting than a flat color. The iconic dies. I'm not sure I know the iconic dies, Jacqueline. I'll have to look those up afterwards. There's really, if you're not familiar with our catalog, it is a very, very large catalog, and it's very hard to be familiar with all the products in there. All right, so we're going to take this guy. I'm going to do a quick cut just to get him off this larger piece because I know I need this piece for other things later. And then I'm going to fussy cut this guy. Now, if you have the punch, you wouldn't have stamped all these bits together the way I did, or you could have, and you can fussy cut it, but you would have stamped them more separated. And then you could use the punch to cut out each bit and attach them together with mini glue dots. So that's a whole other way of creating this. But like I said, I forgot to buy the punch. So I'm going to do this old school. Now I am actually going to try and keep this piece here. I'm just going to snip it off because this is a good size piece for stamping a small flower and punching it out once I have the punches. So I'll keep that on my desk for a later date. And we'll keep fussy cutting this. I'll try and read your comments as I'm fussy cutting. Precise stamping. You know what though? It is actually so easy to do that stamping because the stamps are photopolymer and you can see through and see exactly where you want them. So it's not like stamping with the red rubber stamps. I don't think I could have attempted this with a red rubber stamp, but with the photopolymer, it is really so easy. You can see exactly where you're stamping. So that part makes it really, really easy. So here we go, a little bit more. Are you going to be out on your scooter this afternoon, Jacqueline? That sounds fabulous. I'm going to go for a walk while I get my oil change done this afternoon, but then unfortunately, I am stuck writing report cards. So I'm going to find a good power outlet near a window and a nice cup of tea and at least enjoy the sunshine that way. It's always, I get a nice long summer, but I also have to write report cards 3 times a year. So there's trade-offs. All right. So with that guy fussy cut, I'm actually going to now grab some twine. Now I have here one of the colors. So this is the white, and it's from a pack that actually has, you get a vanilla, a crumb cake, a gray, a white, and a black all together. And what's it actually called? They'll come in a little baggie. It's called the Baker's Twine Essentials Pack. So you get a lot of different twines, which is really, really nice. And at first I thought, well, why would I want twine other than white? Turns out I actually really do. But I do use my white a lot. So I'm going to grab that. So yeah, if you're ever in our catalog and you're like, oh, I'd like some white twine, you actually can't look it up as white twine. It's the Baker's Twine Essentials pack. All right, there we go. Snip that off. Oh, I need more of that one. The Tulips do have that same kind of stamping. I love them. And this technique on the Tulips works really well to stamp your tulip in one color and then kind of ink the edges in a darker color. It's a great one on the Tulips. Okay, so I wrapped that around twice and tied a knot. I'm going to kind of line it up along the center line on this stamp. And then I'm going to tie a little bow here. So I always do bunny ears and wrap them around. I know some of you cringe at that and find bows really frustrating. You could also just tie a little knot here or skip the bow entirely, but I don't know. I find it hard to create cards without bows. I love them. There. You do get a good amount of each. I can't remember exactly how much now. But like it doesn't run out quickly. I make my team packs using the twine on those rolls, and it goes quite a distance. All right, so we've got that stamped. I'm going to bring in all of our pieces. I'll get rid of this mat for now. And we're going to start gluing together, and then I'm going to do the worst thing you could ever do. I'm going to stamp on my finished card. If you don't like that, then maybe just, hold off, see how I'm finishing up this card, and then when you make your own, remember to do your stamping first. But I like to get it lined up exactly where I want it, and so that means I have to stamp my sentiment at the end because I got to wait and see how all of this comes together. So yeah, now when I say, watch and see and then do it your way when you make these cards, that's because today is an online workshop. So I am demonstrating cards for you, which I do every Wednesday, and I've been doing recently on Sundays for celebration. But what's special about these cards is that for this weekend only, so today and tomorrow, if you use my host code, and place a $60 order, I will actually send you all these paper bits and send you basically the make and take pack so that you can create these yourself. So like you'll get the piece of white to stamp your cactus on, you'll get the piece of designer series paper, you'll get all the layers and everything. You just need your own inks and stamp set and adhesives. So it's kind of a nice little thing. Watch some cards if you enjoy them, place an order, and get the little make and take pack. So here we go. I'm going to pop this one on. Okay, so I literally just glued all those layers together and created one great big background. Brave, stupid, I don't know, maybe they're the same thing, Marianne. Because I'm even going to go so far as to attach this cactus before I stamp. So now let's see. I had some dimensionals here. There we go. I'm going to pop that up there. I think it's also, years of experience because I've only been a demo for, I think it's 4 years now. But I've been stamping since I was probably 4 years old, maybe younger. My Nana actually would keep a giant bowl of stamps on her kitchen table for all of us cousins to play with, and she'd keep a stack of paper on the table. And it was funny. I still remember those stamps. They were like crazy, like zodiac stamps, and you couldn't really make a card with them, but they were fun. And so, a little bit of confidence built up in 40 plus years of stamping. So I've got my little hello. I've put him on the left side of my block so that I can hold my block and still see where he's going. And so again, that's the real joy of these photopolymer ones. Oh, and then I go and mess it up. But I'm pretty confident I can line that up and fix it. There we go. See, photopolymer makes it so easy. I was able to double stamp that and not get a echo. So Photopolymer is fabulous. That is almost finished. I just about said it was finished. She was a terrific Nana. Oh my gosh, I miss her so much. But you know, she clearly got a few of us addicted, because I'm not the only one in my family who's a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. All right, now let's grab my Take a Pick tool, and the embellishments I'm going to add here. Very sorry for the mess in my case here. They do come on a really nice sheet, all in nice rows. This is only a partial pack. It's been cut up. But I was cutting these up for a team meeting pack, and so I've got like little bits here. So I'm going to grab, actually the white ones. I'm going to put white dots on a white background, and they're still going to stand out and be gorgeous. There we go, and one more large one. Pop it right down here. And now I can say that our card is finished. Voila. So that is our first Cactus Cuties card in this online workshop. And I love the color combo. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that one as well. All right, I'm going to pop that off to the side, and we're going to get started on card number 2. Oh, it was Frank who brought the first stamps home. Okay, guys, can I show you this? I've actually been dying to do this. And I know Jacqueline well enough. I can embarrass her this way. I can show you guys people's comments. So if you're, because I've got some people on Facebook, but I'm also streaming this to YouTube. Jacqueline said Frank brought the first stamps home here at our house. I think that is awesome. Frank is such a cool guy. Did he bring them home from Ange? All right, so our second card is again using the paper from Sunshine and Rainbows, but a completely, well, not completely, we still have the Flirty Flamingo in here, but otherwise, like the other one was like dark, crisp colors. This is more kind of like everything's mottled and softer colors. I've got a So Saffron card base, and I've actually folded it in like the hamburger style. I think that's the hamburger style, but with the fold on the side. The reason I do that is because if you've got a card that has the fold on the top, it does that over time, right? Blah. So if you have the fold on the side, your card will always stay upright and beautiful and on display. So I'm going to grab my bone folder again here. He saw a demonstration in Michael's, so he brought it home to show me. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. I love that. Everybody needs a Frank in their life. He is so sweet. Okay, so I am going to put a white layer on the inside of this card, even though it's a very light So Saffron. I do like that idea of a layer in there, but I'm not going to do it yet, just in case I mess up the stamping on the front of my card. Because this time I am going to stamp first, and I'm going to position everything else around my stamping. But I do have a tendency to mess things up when I emboss. And that's how we're going to start. We're going to grab this Just a Note, ink it up with Versamark, come down here to the bottom right-hand corner, and stamp that. And then we are going to emboss this. And if I mess it up, I've put it in far enough that that white layer will cover it up. And this will become the inside of our card. I may have had to do this on a few occasions. All right, so I'm going to come on in here. I just kind of scoop into my embossing powder, tap it off, and we are good to go. All right, now, so I found Angela over 7 years ago searching for the butterfly basics dies and stamps. Oh, that's so funny. I thought you would have met Ange through Frank, through work. That's funny. All right, so it might get a little noisy on your end. I'm not sure if my thing's going to noise cancel this or be really loud as I heat emboss here. Okie dokie. There we go. So I didn't mess it up. We don't have to make this the inside of our card. Yay. So it's just a cute little light note, like white on the So Saffron. It doesn't stand out a ton, but you can see it enough. Now I'm going to take, I have a piece of, oh, I think it's 1.5, but let's just double check. 2 inches. 2-inch by 5.5 DSP, and then a white piece that's a 1/4 inch larger to create like a little border. And we're going to glue that together and glue it to our card front. So I do use liquid glue. And I don't know, some of you don't like liquid glue, and that's fine. You can use seal, tear and tape, whatever adhesive you like. I cannot line things up straight to save my life, even with liquid glue, but at least I get it closer. So I use liquid glue so I can wiggle it around and get it straight-ish. All right, there we go. And now with this one, when I put this one down, I'm going to line it up so that it's flush with the fold on my card. And then I may have to just trim the other end a little bit. What happens is, although this was scored at 5.5 and this paper was cut at 5.5, sometimes in the folding, you lose just like a 1/16 of an inch in your fold. And oops, not straight. This is why I like liquid glue. Okay, that looks pretty straight to me. There we go. All right. So I lost a little bit in my fold, or I just didn't cut right. Who knows? And so you can do a few things. You can take your paper trimmer and trim that. I personally like to just look on the inside and let my scissors run along the edge of the cardstock and trim that with my paper snips, because it's just such a slight amount. All right, clear those off my desk. There we go. Oh, that's funny. It is such a small world, eh, Jacqueline? Such a small world. Okay, so now we have our little piece here. It's a basic white and flirty flamingo. And I'm going to glue those together and glue them straight down to my card front as well. There we go. Just like that. Now, this next cactus that I'm going to create, again, I wish I had the punch because this one I am cutting out, but I'm cutting it out for a different reason. I'm cutting it out because I want to layer pieces onto and like around each other and kind of weave my cactus bits together, because I'm using the kind of spiky, I don't know, I guess it's like an aloe plant or something. I'm going to use that little guy. And so I really want all the layers to kind of go together. So I'm going to grab soft suede for my my pot on this one. I'm going to bring back that scrap. This time, though, I'm not going to stamp everything all together. I'm going to stamp it kind of separated like you would if you were going to punch these pieces out. So I've got a soft suede pot stamped. I am going to grab my Just Jade. And actually, you know what? I should probably not do the Just Jade first, because then I don't have to clean my thing. So I'm going to do my Granny Apple first. Oh, and I should have my mat underneath. I'd get a much nicer image here. So let me grab that for these next ones. My table's a little bit warped, so I don't always get the best image if I stamp directly on my table. All right, and then pop this little guy in like that. So this guy's Just Jade. So I've stamped the same stamp twice, once in Granny Apple, once in Just Jade. And then the last one that I'm going to stamp is this funny little, I don't know what it is, but we're going to use it as a flower today. So we're going to stamp it in Flirty Flamingo. that up there. Now, this is where having the punch would be handy, but we're going to fussy cut it. Luckily, they're pretty quick and easy, and I'm going to pull this off because I do need the rest of this for my last cactus. There we go. All right, so these are all actually pretty straightforward. The only one that's tricky is the little flower. The rest of these are easy peasy, quick curves. Okay, done. There we go. All right. So, aside from a little bit of enjoying the sun, does anybody have any fun plans for the weekend? I know I wish I did, but that will be next weekend once report cards are done. The cactus is a punch. No, there's no dies for it. Yeah, it's just a punch that comes with it that I really wish I had as I'm sitting here fussy cutting. That's okay. So my crazy sister went out paddleboarding last weekend, you know, fully clothed, wearing winter jackets and rubber boots. But she went paddleboarding, and now I'm like dying to get out on my paddleboard. And so I think if it's this nice next weekend, once report cards are done, I might go for my first paddleboard of the year. It's been too long. All right. Oh, it's so quiet. Just about done. So this one is a little bit trickier, but you'll see I'm just like, I'm kind of slowly closing my scissors, and I'm twisting the paper as I close the scissors. So it's actually not too bad. There we go. Voila. All those bits are cut out. So now we're going to build our cactus using mini glue dots. So let me grab those. And when I use my mini glue dots, there's two ways. I either like to pick them up with my take your pick tool, or I take like my cactus piece here and I put them straight, oops, come on. I put them straight onto the mini glue dot so that I don't have to touch the mini glue dot. It just sticks right on. So I'm putting this guy in so he's just slightly off to the left. Oh, barefoot outdoors. Oh, I can't wait. Yes, my balcony faces south as well. I am so fortunate. Our kitchen and our balcony are both south facing. So nice. All right, so another glue dot there at the base. This guy I'm going to bring in so that he sits. Oh, come on. I want him to sit like on the edge of the pot and be peeking through. There we go, just like that. And now our last little guy is this little flower. Another glue dot on there. And to attach him, I'm actually going to come in between the layers and pop him in so it is kind of over top of everything. All right, so now I'm just going to give this a little wiggle until it looks exactly how I want it. And wiggle you over a bit, I think. Oh, not that much. There we go. All right, so with it, how I actually want it looking in my pot, I'm now going to secure those so that they don't kind of wiggle around. I'm going to secure them with dimensionals. So I definitely want that side of the pot sitting like that. Just double check that the front, yeah, there we go. So I'm using my dimensionals to hold these together exactly where I want them. And up there like that. So it's an excessive amount of dimensionals on the back of this, but it's doing more than just popping this up. It's holding the pieces in the exact position. And then we're going to take this and put it onto that nice white background that we created. All right, so it takes a little bit of work to do that piecing together, but it's actually pretty quick. Oh, thank you, Rondi. I love paper piecing, creating things exactly how you want them to look. It's my favorite. So now, just before we finish up this card, I'm just going to bring in some of these polished dots again, and I'm going to pop some on here. And I think I'm going to keep them all in here on my little white piece. Oh, oops, come on back. Run away, Jen. All right, pop those on there. And that is our finished card. So there you guys go. Nice quick look at it. So yeah, another one done. Super, super sweet. I love how these go together. So that was our second card. And then our last card for the day is, is all the bits are hiding as I've put things off to the side of my desk. I apparently covered up all my bits. Okay, here we go. We have a crumb cake base, and we have 3 pieces of the designer series paper from that Sunshines and Rainbow pack. So it's the clouds on one side, but I'm using the pink rainbows, the thin stripes, but I'm using the pool party like little clouds, and then the blue rainbows, but I'm using the green side. So kind of not going with the wild rainbow colors of this card, or of this DSP set. All right, so with our card base here, I'm going to start by gluing my petal pink piece onto the top of my card. And let's go. So again, I like to use liquid glue so that I can put this on and really line it up, because when I place this, I want my side borders and my top border to be equal. That's how I'm going to know I got it in the right place. Okay. Well, it's a card class, Jacqueline, so it's going to be 3 cards. Tomorrow when I do my celebration Sunday, it's just going to be 1. But today we're doing an online card class. So yeah, you guys get spoiled. And then, yeah, with a $60 order, you guys can get the make and take pack to go with these, and a little PDF and everything. And you'll have this video to come back to and reference and all of that. So I've now got some linen thread. I did actually want to use the the Sahara sand from the basic twine pack that I used before, but I used it for a card class and I used up like 4 packs worth. So I have a lot of the other colors left, but I don't have any of the Sahara sand one left in that pack, in any of my packs. So we're going to use linen thread instead. Close enough. It looks really nice with the crumb cake. All right, come on. So it is a little bit trickier to tie this around a piece of DSP because you don't want to roll up the edges of your DSP. So I find like putting your hands down and holding that DSP straight is really, really helpful. And oh my goodness, I am having such trouble. Okay, I'm just going to straighten out this piece a little bit. Now there's a few things because there's a lot of curls in this. I have heard people running these through wax and doing that to get them straight. I find that just if I firmly press it and pull, I can get the curl out of the twine, at least well enough to work with it. All right, now that's going around so much better. All right, so I've wrapped it twice. I'm going to hold down the DSP while I tie this together in a knot. And once you've got the knot, you're golden. Okay, so now that we've got the knot, it's nice and easy. I'm going to make my bunny ears and tie my bow. So again, I'm sorry if you hate bows. or if you hate tying bows. I think everybody likes how they look, but some people don't enjoy tying them. It's terribly sorry. It's almost like a trademark, that and dimensionals. I use too many of both. So with that on there, I am going to do two little things here. I'm going to scooch this over just the tiniest bit, just by curving my paper, placing my bow where I want it, and then gently straightening my paper. Okay, so that's all the way over to the left-hand side where I want it. And now this piece is going to get glued down. And again, I'm using liquid glue. And so we want to glue our tops and our bottoms first. That way, when we put down our centerpiece, we can definitely get it centered. All right, so there we go. Same rule. We're trying to get the two sides equal with the bottom. So all three sides have the same border. Okay, with that done, I am going to now grab my blue piece, my centerpiece, and glue it in. And this one is so much easier because you're literally just looking at the edges of the card and the other two pieces of DSP and trying to get it equal. There we go. And there is a trick to the measurements on these ones, and that comes in the PDF. I've got all the sizing for it. Plus, when you get your make and take kit, these will be cut to size. You struggle with bows. Yeah, bows can be really, really tricky. Okay, so with that done, I've got to do a little bit of work on this bow because even though I actually really like bows and I think I'm pretty good at them, there are a few tricks that help you be even more successful with your bow, and especially with this twine that likes to twist on itself. The biggest trick with this one is actually mini glue dots. So I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool and grab a mini glue dot here, and I'm going to put it on the back of the knot of my bow. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to kind of roll the edges in. And I'm going to decide where I want that. And I'm going to push it down. And I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to push all that adhesive so it's behind the knot of my bow. And now you can see my bow is sitting much more straight and staying where I want it. So that's a little trick to keeping them, and you can do that with anything, not just the twine. All right, so with that done, I have got a label. This label is from the Tasteful Label Dies. So I think I actually want to place this. We're going to create a diagonal this way. So I want to place this here. So I'm going to stamp my words on the left-hand side. And for this one, I am going to bring in a sentiment we haven't used yet. It says, "Hope your day is on point." And that one we are going to stamp with our soft suede. So ink that up, center it and top to bottom, and place it to the left-hand side. There we go. So that is our sentiment, and this label is actually going to get glued straight down, but I'm not going to do it yet until I've created my cactus, because if I create my cactus like a little wonky shaped or whatever, I want to be able to position it so that my sentiment's going to be just fine. So now I've got this crazy piece of paper. I think it's big enough. We'll see. And I am going to stamp again in soft suede. I'm going to come in here with this one. I got to clean this up because I used blue on them last. And we're going to create a whole cactus again that we're going to fussy cut all one piece. So I got my soft suede base. Oh yeah, it'll just fit. Perfect. There we go. Soft suede pot. The bow maker. Yeah, so the Tulips is kind of like what you're doing with the bow maker. The bow maker makes it so simple. I just don't have one. So I just, make do. All right, now I'm bringing in some Bermuda Bay, so a new color. And we're finally going to use that cute, fat little cactus in Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to stamp a big bit. And I'm going to stamp a little bit off to the side. There we go. And then finally, we're going to come on in and stamp our flower. And I'm going to use that same technique I used before with the Flirty Flamingo and the Melon Mambo. There we go. So we're going to ink our flower in Flirty and Sponge Daub in Melon Mambo. And add our little flower. There we go. Oh, I almost dipped that into the Melon Mambo. All right, voila. So we've got our two cute little flowers. And we are going to put away these inks before I drop something into them. There we go. Grab my scissors. Oh yeah, definitely. If you don't have a bow maker, Jack, and you find bows are really challenging, I would definitely get a bow maker. It'll just make your life so much simpler. You know, crafting's supposed to be fun. So if a part of crafting is not fun, then don't do it. All right. Here we go. So again, this one's pretty quick and easy to fussy cut. The lines are fairly straightforward, nicely spaced, and so easy to fussy cut. But if you have the punch, you know, you could punch your pieces and piece them together with mini glue dots, and that would work out quite well. Here we go. All right, just about done. So for those of you who know, I do have 2 days of the week that I regularly stamp online, and then once a month I do these online workshops. Just life is too crazy with the teenagers otherwise, but once a month, you know, I let them all sleep in, and I do one of these. Okay, so now that we've got that done, I can move this out of the way. We'll bring this in and we'll kind of decide on placement of everything. So I think that I would like this. Oh, I don't want it to cover up all my blue though. So I'll put it up between the pink and the blue, and we'll let this sit just like, oh, maybe up a little bit higher. I'd kind of like it down by the green though. Okay, and we'll let that sit like that, and then we'll fill this in with some glue dot, or not glue dots, polish dots. So we'll do that, unless, I wonder, actually I kind of like that, putting it down low. Yeah, let's do that. So that's why we didn't glue our sentiment right away, because I wanted to see it. With this cactus, you can kind of, you know, I never remember which side I'm going to stamp that on. And so I wanted to build my cactus first and then decide how it's all going to go together best. So I'm glad I didn't glue this at the top, which was my original instinct, but waited. All right, so that piece gets glued straight down, and then our cactus gets put on with some dimensionals. So a couple here, a couple there, and pop this on. So voila. And now I like that because the cactus goes through all 3 layers of designer series paper. And we'll finish this off with our polished dots that we've been using on all of our cards. And I think for this one, we're going to use the lovely pink ones again. And let's see, I think 3 will be good on this one as well. I'm so boring. I tend to go with 3 dots on everything. Sometimes I'll go crazy and do 5, but all right, just like that. And actually, on this one, I might go crazy and do 5. It just feels like I want to extend this up. that and like that. So just kind of like a trail of polished dots up our card. So voila, that is our third card. So I'll just bring them all back into the screen here. I'll clean up all my crafting bits here, and you'll just see it's all using the same designer series paper. And there we go. 3 cute Cactus Cuties cards. So super sweet, super easy to make. And yeah, thank you so much, Lynn and Rondi, Val, Nancy. Hope you guys enjoy that. And yeah, have a great drive this afternoon, Jacqueline. I hope that everybody's experiencing some sunshine today and having a chance to get out and enjoy that. It's been a while, at least here it has been. So thank you guys so much. And let's see, switch over so I can see, you guys can see my face. I wish I could see your guys' faces. I cannot wait for in-person classes so I can see some of you face to face. I know some of you are far away, but and I will keep doing these online things even once we do go back to in-person, but really looking forward to being able to see people. Oh, hi, Auntie Maureen. Thanks. So you guys have a fabulous day. Remember, you have all weekend to place a $60 order using that host code, and then I'll send you the make and take pack for this cute little class. And yeah, and then check out my other social media. I have a regular monthly stamping card class, and so we always feature a different stamp set. And I think next month we're doing Artfully Composed, and we kind of do that. So yes, online I know lets so many people join that wouldn't regularly be able to, because you guys are just too far away, Jacqueline. And it gives you guys the flexibility of time as well. So definitely check out some of my online stuff in our monthly card classes. We've got that going on. And then if you have a big wish list, consider joining my team. We also do a monthly card class, and those get recorded and everything, so you can join at whatever time is convenient for you for those. And it's truly the best deal right now, because $135, no shipping, you get 2 extra stamp sets on top of that, and then a great opportunity to join the team and stamp and have some social stamping time. All right, bye everyone, have a great Saturday. Join me tomorrow if you can at 9 a.m. for my celebration Sunday. I'm featuring the Simply Marvelous DSP tomorrow. Bye.